What up?
What's up, man?
You got the product?
Yeah, I got the product. You got the money?
Yeah, but let me see the product first. Oh,
Where's the money?
got it right here. Left a little something extra in there for you.
Yeah, man. Look at
Hot. It's hot. Ordering from a chef doesn't have to be so discreet. Download the authentic Chef to You app and get chef-prepared meals ordered straight to your door with the click of a button. Download today.
Yo, this is James, Lights Out Tony, the one and only. You are tuning into Philly Fight World. You see me? BAM!
Well, I'm Joseph Brown. I'm 17 years old. I'm a professional boxer now, 1-0, and as an amateur, I competed in all the different types of combat sports and retired from those 67-0. I won like 11 or 12 like provincial or state championships, 6 national championships, and I won a world championship. And now I'm currently signed to Mayweather Promotions.
I want to become a legend in the sport. I want to become a household name, and I want to be like remembered once I retire from boxing, and once I'm like long gone, I still want to be talked about.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Blake Anthony here with my brother from another mother, Rasul, and we got the guest here, Mr. Joseph Brown, and we're going to talk about boxing. We're going to talk about Joseph's career. We're going to talk about different fighters. We're going to talk about all types of things. I can't go without saying he's representing, obviously, TMT, the money team. Rasul is out there representing the Philly fight world. And you know I'm coming from Sports Talk49 all the way down here in Florida. So let's have some fun today. Fellas, what is going on?
What's happening? What's up, Jake? What's up, Blake? What's up? How y'all doing?
Right, good. So where do we want to start off, Rasul?
Of course, I'm working at the Philly Fight World YouTube channel, and we recently did a piece on my man Joseph, starting out his career in the professional boxing world. So we started off with just a little mini documentary on, on his career so far, starting off where he started and where he is now. And so I met Joseph through his father. I had heard things about him for the last few months, just watching from afar, just seeing little tidbits about his career, where he came from in amateur levels. And then leading up until met his father, had a conversation with him. And like I said, I was able to fly out in Vegas and catch him during his training. And so I think we had a really good time meeting each other and learning about the sport, where his beginning and to where he is now. And I said it was a good little piece that we got, and it was educational because I learned a lot about him. And so You, Joseph, how was the training in Las Vegas for you? I know you're back home in Canada now. How was that whole camp for you?
Oh, first off, Canada. Good Lord. You know, I'm in Florida. I'm spoiled with warm weather. I can't do the cold anymore. I was born in Alaska. I did live there 12 years. I can't do that cold anymore. So God bless you to that, Joseph Brown.
Yeah,
You spoiled down there. That's what it is.
I was born in Florida as well, so yeah, I miss that Florida weather. Um, coming to Canada is a big change. It's a big difference. But yeah, that camp I had in Vegas was great. I think this time was the longest that I've been there at once. I was there for basically like 6 weeks, and I got a lot of great working down there. I learned a lot this trip that I went, and I got to spar with a lot of different world class people. So I definitely grew as a fighter a lot.
Definitely. So for somebody who don't know you, and I like asking questions because I like a story to piece together. So when we talk about this later and we laugh years down the line when you're holding the title, who is Joseph Brown?
Well, I'm Joseph Brown. I'm 17 years old. I'm a professional boxer now, 1-0, and as an amateur, I competed in all the different types of combat sports and retired from those 67-0. I won like 11 or 12 like provincial or state championships, 6 national championships, and I won a world championship. And now I'm currently signed to Mayweather Promotions.
How was that when you signed with Mayweather Promotions? Were you like, oh man, damn, this is Floyd Mayweather? You know, let me up my game a little bit here. I mean, what was that like? And I know we all try to act cool because we're men and all that, you know, but you still can be in awe. You can still have awe moments. I mean, did you have one?
No, I was. That's definitely how it was like for sure. Like I remember the first time Floyd walked in the gym, I was like starstruck. I couldn't even believe that he was actually like he just came in the gym and dapped me up, and I had to sit there and like process like what just happened at 1st. But it's pretty cool, and I'm like it still shocks me now that I'm to the point where like he knows me, like I can call him if I need something. So it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's a dream come true because Floyd's been one of my favorite fighters since I started boxing. So to now be like signed to him is like it's amazing.
So wait, you mean to tell me you got Floyd's number in your phone right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. Not many people can say that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you
Definitely.
got something?
Yeah, I know you say you grew up in Florida. Well, you were born in Florida, and I know, of course, Florida has a lot of boxers that came out of there. And I think we were speaking before that you met Roy Jones, and I know Roy Jones is a big Florida
Love
guy.
Roy. Love
Yeah.
Roy.
Yeah, how was that experience meeting Roy?
Yeah, me and Roy Jones was amazing. I remember I was with Jeff Mayweather in Vegas. Like we went to like some boxing convention, and that was the first time I met Roy. But it was like quick, like he was on his way out, actually leaving, and Jeff just called him over because him and Jeff are pretty good friends. So he called him over and said, this is Joseph Brown. He's gonna be the next world champion. He's like, oh, what's his name? I'm gonna remember that. And he said Joseph Brown. So then, dapped me up real quick, and he left. And then actually, I saw him again. And once I saw him again, he invited me to go train at his house. So got to go to his house and spar with a couple of his guys, and we really grew close after that. So then after that time, he actually flew down to come watch one of my fights, like watch one of my national tournaments that I won. And then I got to go down to his house again, but this time it was for a while. I went down for like a week to just spend time with him and train with him, and let him teach me that So yeah, it was great to, like I said, be able to learn from one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, Roy Jones, boy, I'm just thinking about some of his fights, man. Roy, I love that guy. he was so cocky, but he can do that holding belts at what was it? Rasul, was it 3 different weight classes at one time? It was 3 different weight classes you had to belt him?
Yeah, definitely.
Roy. And was he still got that? He got his gym like in his backyard or something like that, wasn't it, Joseph?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, that's where it was.
Yeah.
That's where.
It's like a barn on his
Yeah,
property.
barn. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And what was it? Nice. Was it pretty big? Was it nice?
Yeah, it's big.
Mm-hmm. What else I have? So what?
That's
What? So you had there's so many backgrounds, the kickboxing, MMA stuff. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, who was your favorite fighter in that field? Did you have one?
I say like my favorite kickboxer. His name's Peter Sugarfoot Cunningham. He's a kickboxer from back in the day. I'm pretty sure he retired like 49 or like 50-0 when he was done. So he was an amazing kickboxer. And like on the MMA side, I'd say like probably Izzy and like Anderson Silva are like my 2 favorites.
I love Izzy. I love watching Izzy's career grow, man.
Yeah.
They said that guy could knock out people. He had a knockout power. He was just he always fought with a chip on his shoulder, man. I loved watching his career. Still do. Now he's older, but still, there's nothing he could do that I wouldn't like. I just loved watching him grow and become the guy he is now. But who I fell in love with watching his career, even from beginning to end, was Conor McGregor. I wasn't a big fan at first. I think I fell in love with McGregor when I can't remember who it was. It was a fight he was supposed to fight, and the guy had to drop out of the fight. And I think it was maybe less than 5 days or something like that. Like, he had to lose an astronomical amount of weight to get down to the weight class to fight this guy. Not only did he do that, he beat the guy. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, this dude's bad as like, holy moly. I just thought that was amazing. So being with that background, go ahead, Russell.
Yeah, how is it? I guess is it difficult being that, of course, you do MMA, so you do the grappling, grabbing and everything, and then right now, of course, you're in boxing. You're going to boxing where you kind of strapped with gloves on, and then there's no grappling. You just, of course, boxing. Do you get flashbacks, or do you get the urge to grab somebody or give somebody an elbow? Is that difficult?
Like I've been doing it so long that I know how to switch between everything. Like, I know when to do what for whichever sport I'm in. I mean, if somebody's getting me upset, then I get that urge. But other than that, I'm pretty cool with it.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. You get that urge, like if you want to grab. Again, that kind of reminds me. Speaking of McGregor and Floyd, when they fought, but I think Floyd gave Conor pretty good credit because he did actually have pretty good hands in that match. He knew how to box a little bit. So with that background, like, so why the sudden flip? I mean, there's so much to talk about between that. I mean, the world of MMA, UFC, kickboxing, all that was like more of a it was more of its own thing at one point. Now it's like in the forefront. Now it's kind of taken over. Boxing's kind of took a minor step back, and UFC and MMA came forward, and now you got all these guys from there now going into the boxing world. Now, I mean, what made your transition go? Like, what was your motivation? Was that did that have something to do with it, or was that something just you wanted to do? Like,
well, I'm gonna continue to practice everything for a while, because at the end of the day, I after my boxing career, I would like to cross over to MMA and be the first male to win a UFC championship, as well as having boxing titles as well. So I'm gonna keep doing that. But I mean, I guess as I grew older, I just started to like boxing more, and then right now I think there's a little bit more money in boxing. So those are probably the 2 reasons.
Yeah, definitely. That. Yeah, there's more money. Like I think you met Francis before.
Yeah.
Now you see him. Now you see him making that change. I mean, did he say anything to you on the regards of like finances or something like that? Like, did he go into details of that? Or did you guys just basically, was it just casual conversation?
It was just casual talk, but I've been around enough like top level like UFC people and
Mm-hmm.
coaches that's given me insight on what exactly is going on, and from that you can see that in boxing, pay wise is the better option.
And I know we were talking a little bit about off air. Like now you got to go into the promotions part of and all that. Of course, you're wearing the shirt there, fighting promotions and all that. I mean, I'm sure you guys going to have your agent and all them take care of that. That's this whole other thing. But yeah, it's just so much into that, getting all that going and what you get paid for pay-per-view sales and all that stuff. Rasul, you got something?
Yeah, it's a lot. It could be a lot, but of course, Joseph. Of course, you're focusing on fighting itself. You let your management take care of that end. The finance. I guess going back to strictly boxing. What weight class are you in now? What will you be considered? What's your weight?
I guess junior middleweight, 154.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be middleweight, junior middleweight. I guess who are you in that division? Is there anyone that you admire? Any fighters in there in that division that you like?
To be honest, not really. I don't think junior middleweight's popping right now. I'd say maybe the best one in there is Tim Tszyu. I think Tim Tszyu is pretty good. I mean, other than him, there's not a whole bunch of like amazing people. I think Charlo still has a belt there, but he hasn't fought at junior middleweight in a while. So
Right, and like you said, and I think Keith Thurman came up in weight from the welterweight, so he's fighting Tim Tszyu, and but yeah, that weight, and it's funny you said that because at a time that middleweight was a pretty good weight. Within the last few years, it was a lot of good fighters in that division. Even going back, of course, I'm from Philadelphia, of course, but we have J Rock, who held the belt. Actually, he unified the belts at one time in that division. But it seemed like that division, the belts are constantly getting moved around.
Yeah.
Because I think the competition is pretty much even in that division. Who are your favorite fighters today? Active fighters today.
Active. I like Terrence Crawford, of course. I like Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson. All those guys, Boots, John Ennis, all those guys are probably my favorites.
Right, and I know
that's your boy.
Yeah, and I know we spoke before it. And you visit their gym, Boots Gym in Philly. How was that experience? I'm training with him.
Training with him was amazing. Yeah, it was great. Coach just took me to the gym. His name is Mark Robertson. To the gym, we didn't even know like what time the gym opened or anything. He just kind of went based off what he thought, based off the last time we went there, which was a while back. So we went there, and no one was there. But then 5 minutes later, like Bozy came up, and he ended up opening the gym. So we walked in, got to look at it, and then that's when like the whole crew, everyone came in, Boots and the rest of the guys. And then Bozy said I could train with them, so we started training. And then after a while, everyone started putting their stuff on, and then they asked if I wanted to spar. So I was like, yeah, sure, like I'll spar. And then they ended up letting me spar Boots, so I got to get some rounds with them, which was great. It was an amazing experience for me.
Oh, you actually got how many rounds did you go?
With Boots, it was 2. There were 4 minutes, but it was 2 4-minute rounds.
Tenfold. That's pretty dope right there, especially Mr. Boots. I know that's your boy Rasul right there. I know you love some Boots.
Yeah. Him and his dad are good people. Him and Boozy, they're real good people, man. So they got a good camp. They got good guys in there as trainers. So I can imagine the experience you got with those guys because they don't play. You know, once that bell starts and they get in there, they're serious about their training and their workout for the day.
Mm.
How do you balance the physical demands of boxing along with your personal life and relationships? You're 17, a lot's transpiring in your life at that time. Like, how do you manage that? As you know, your mental health is important. I know you don't really think about all that right now because you're so young. I'm a former athlete myself, and trust me, like you got to try to manage both of those because it's so important now. So, how are you dealing with that?
Well, honestly, I keep boxing first before all the other things. You know what I mean? Like the only thing that I'll really have to try and manage between the two is school. But I'm homeschooled, which made it more convenient for me, not with my my training schedule and everything. But yeah, I keep boxing first, and then I love boxing at the end of the day. So when you love what you're doing, it makes it a lot easier and a lot easier to manage. So,
and it's not really work if you love it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I always like to just ask that. It's always keep that in your mind. You always got to have that time for you to process things because we as men, we tend to not do that sometimes, but it's important to always get that, try to keep those balances in.
Yeah. We definitely. I'm glad you spoke on that, Blake, because as men, we definitely we need and like anyone else, I shouldn't say men, women included. Everyone need their time to themselves where they can just relax, and do things that we like to do. Escape from the everyday life.
Okay.
So definitely.
Yes,
Gotcha.
sir.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Upcoming. Anything on the horizon?
Possibly March 16th. I might have a fight in Mexico.
Okay.
Nice. All right, Blake. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. This got tons of good content there. We appreciate you guys taking your time out of your schedule. You and your dad, you guys look like you guys got lots going on, and we're hopefully, and we're happy to be here to talk about it and be there for you. Try to check out you guys' fights.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right.
See you guys.
All right, Joseph. You be safe. All right.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Appreciate it, Joseph. And then there was two, me and Rasul. As you can see, guys, we're going to picking up the young boxers at a Team Money team. Young Joseph Brown, him and his dad. It's good. Good to see. I mean, honestly, I say it all the time, and it's kind of a thing that falls by the wayside. I love to see a father and son relationship, especially a black man. Yes, I'm going to go there. A black man there with his son, raising his son there in his life, helping him out. Not saying a woman couldn't do it. Not saying that. I'm just happy to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
And they have a good relationship with each other because I think it's important to have that. So that's good. And he looks genuinely happy being there. So and he looks like he's enjoying his life. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, him and his dad being in his corner, like you said, that we have to see more of that. Having fathers in young in your son's life, that's important. And in our community, that's a rarity now. So to see that and to see his father staring at his career, it's a good. And you see that a lot in boxing. Devin Haney with his father. Sean Porter, who retired boxing, but his father was Floyd, exactly, with his father. So it's good to see that these young men have these role models that kind of steer him and help him because he'll need it, especially in the industry of the boxing industry and any industry, but you talk about the entertainment industry, which boxing is a sport, of course, but it is also
It's entertainment. That's what
yeah,
it is.
yeah. And, we've seen in the past where it could eat someone alive,
Well, that's why I made sure to mention mental health. That's why I made sure to mention that, especially getting punched in the head, boxing and then dealing with life as it is. I mean, like I said, he's young. He's not really thinking about that. That's it. But, down the line, just try to keep that in the forefront. But yeah,
yes, definitely.
So, what you got going on in the Philly fight world coming up?
So we got we have a boxing event that's going to happen next week in New Jersey. Tevin Farmer, I think he's headlining a card at the Showboat Casino. He was formerly ranked up there. He's on his way back up. So we're going to try to do a story on him and try to follow his redeem to be number one contender. Hopefully he could get a title shot. But he lives in Jersey now. Of course, we're going to follow Joseph Brown on his on his way up. Yeah. Like I said earlier, that we have a mini doc, episode 1 already completed. It's on our YouTube page, Philly Fight World. Anyone could go on there and check it out. We'll continue that, as that progresses on his way up through the rankings. So we got that. We're going to cover a couple other fights, local fights that we have here in the city and in New Jersey, and just keep it rolling. We just, our motto is just, we just want to focus in on the sport. There's no bias, no politics. We try not to, get into the messy world of, who likes who, this person versus this person. And, we're not here for that. We're just here to focus on the sport, focus on the fighters, the managers, trainers, judges, referees, you name it. And in the sport of boxing and mixed martial arts, in the boxing world, and in the MMA world, and throughout combat sports, that's where we want to cover, and we just want to continue that. Tell their stories. It's not about us. It's not about, like I said, clicks and likes. It's a way to get their stories out there. And that's, continue to do that.
Yeah, definitely that. And like I said, me and Caleb, you guys that watch me on my other stuff, we talk about that all the time. The players are now having a voice. Same thing with boxers. Same thing with everything else. All these guys got these podcasts, and they're getting their voices, and they're being heard now. From their point of view, not from somebody else's point of view now. So
yeah,
and you're right, Rasul. It's the same thing I like doing here. You just get to talk about the pure sport itself and seeing how much enjoyment these guys get when you talk to them. Like you see Joseph smiling, talking about meeting Floyd, going to Roy's house, and and things like that. Those are moments that he'll always remember for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And with meeting those kind of guys with superstardom that they had in their time. So yeah, these are the fun stories that you and I get to endure doing this media game.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad you mentioned that about, the media game now. It's changed, in the social media world because, in years past, we weren't able to tell our own stories, and that's important right there for us to tell our story and not for someone else telling our story. And it's good to see brothers out there, doing different podcasts, YouTube channels, and able to come across and tell our stories to, our audiences, and not having the big corporation pushing that, giving you what they want you to know about us.
Yeah, the spin, whatever you want to spin it.
Yeah, Definitely.
I mean, I get it. They run a business, and they want people to come to their stuff, so that they have to sell whatever it is they sell. I mean, I've had Mike Deason on. He's won 13, 15 Emmys. He was news media, but done journalism and media for Tampa for over 25 years. I asked him that question. The first thing he said, "If it sells, we write it." There you go. That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So, but it's all right. We're gonna follow Joseph. We're gonna follow plenty others. Want to get boots on, and get all those guys on here talk about some of these. Me and you at work, off air. I told you I was gonna get in this boxing game. Come here, 2024. So we keep more of these going, and see how much fun we can have.
Definitely. I'll hook that up where try to get Boots and his father Bozy on here.
Okay.
Because they have a years, and especially Bozy himself, talking about someone who has years of knowledge in the boxing game. So he'll be a great person to come on and just tweak his brain, get information from him. Like I said, he's tonight he's in Orlando. Saturday he's training Andy Cruz on the DAZN network. They have a pay-per-view fight tonight, so I think they're co-main event. So he'll be training for that. Andy Cruz for that fight. I think he has a couple others coming up, but definitely I'll reach out to him and we'll try to link it up.
Probably try to get a hold of him sometime after, the fight while it's still fresh on his brain, and see what we can, if he's available. God willing, he comes out healthy and everything. But any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Like I said, like we spoke of, man, it's good to see a young man in boxing. Hearing from him. Watching his progression, like you say, he's 17 years old. So it's not a lot of times that we get the opportunity to follow someone from ground up. So, like I said, I found it that it's it's refreshing to see a young man, unscathed yet. The world hasn't tainted him at all yet, and his father being in his corner, man, that's refreshing to me. I'm just glad we got the opportunity to speak to him.
Absolutely, and I hope we can do it again. I hope we can do it again, and after his next fight, when he's got it coming up down in Mexico, see how see what his perspective is before and after the fight. So. I'm Blake Anthony. This is Mr. Rasul out of Philly Fight World up in New Jersey. Of course, I'm down here in Florida. And you know how I always got to end these. You're the master of what you do with your life. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you guys. God bless. And we'll always see you next time.